So listen in, ladies, and maybe some gentlemen. I'm going to share with you today my thoughts on creating global synergies that matter. Actually thinking about who are in our communities, creating communities that have high value, to have high impact in the areas that matter for you. We have a worldwide network that we need to capitalize on. So let's face it, the world is a much smaller place than we ever would have imagined. All right, think about 10 years ago, 5 years ago even, would we be holding a global summit online? No. The power of connection is fast becoming a prerequisite when it comes to business. You need networking for business. Your network helps you increase your net worth. All right. So despite the gross economic fallout following the global pandemic, we are now in touch and in tune with one another more than any time in history. It has been said that female leaders respond better in a crisis, which does not surprise me as a mum of 5 and a C-suite CEO and entrepreneur. The statistics are hands down that we are good for the bottom line. And this is a concept that we refer to as the glass cliff. Much like the glass ceiling, we're great at identifying a risk or a barrier. And this is where women excel, because let's face it, ladies, we need to be very creative. We need to be thrifty. We need to just make things happen. You know, when you're juggling lots of things, as we all do, it requires a fair degree of skill, creativity, and serious just dedication and persistence. All right. So when a business is in trouble, female leaders are placed at the forefront to resolve and reverse these negative declines. So when women are given an opportunity to revise a floundering organization, as C-suite pioneers, they're often able to save a business from collapse. And this is no different from creating a global network that counts. If you know anything about me, I'm all about creating relationships, impactful relationships, long-standing relationships that develop and grow. Why? Because they create synergy. They create opportunities that will then come back in spades. We don't create those relationships for that purpose. Some of you may, but if they're organic and if you're in the right space, those relationships will come back to you with opportunities that you cannot imagine. So make sure that you support each other. Make sure that you acknowledge each other and their skills and their worth. Do shout outs about different women, about why they are awesome. They will love it. It builds your culture. It builds your networks. It is a good thing. I thrive on understanding how women lead businesses and how they champion growth and transformation. All right. As a purpose-driven fempreneur, a CEO, a global women's empowerment coach, a podcast host, a speaker, #1 best-selling author, this is what I do. I help women close the gap between where they are today and where they dream to be, both personally and professionally. This is why I created my women's business incubator, the 6-month program to help you start up, another 6-month program to help you scale up to 6 figures, another program to help you dominate, to have a business that is up to 7 figures. I am all about championing powerhouse female founders who are ready to take the next big leap. So I invite you to start thinking about your own position in your business. Self-isolation and a certain sluggish start to the year that has been put global business networks to the ultimate test. We are now digital scrollers. We're reliant on social media statistics to direct us, to validate us. You know, in today's rattled and professionally exhausted world, we are capable of trending real change. Are we able to keep the heart and humanity through a screen though? Are we able to continue to affirm our key objectives in this new digital space? To achieve these synergistic partnerships, I'll call them, we as women need to connect. We need to be strategic about uniting together to actually play the game as a group, as an empowered group of women globally. So I have been speaking about biases and barriers, about female leadership a lot lately, all about unlocking the visibility of female entrepreneurs around the globe. And unlike times before where I've spoken on stages, I've been presenting to a screen, much like I am right now. So for some of you, it can potentially lessen the prestige when these opportunities come, right? If I'm used to speaking to thousands of people in beautiful concert halls, it's a bit weird sitting in your lounge room talking to a screen, imagining the people on the other side. But this is what we have to do. We have to seize the moments. We have to adapt and change, all right? We have to go with the times. Even if we're just sharing this through a screen, I know that at the other side of this screen are intelligent women, powerful women, women who are waiting to have a step up. They are world-class leaders. Some of them just don't know it yet. All right. So this is an incredible opportunity that, unlike if I was speaking to you now in your area in America, or if it was in my area in Sydney, Australia, I'd actually now be limited because I'd only have those 500 or 1,000 people, right? Here we are using technology to actually share across the globe. It is limitless, and we need to be proactive in our thinking to go, I want to be thinking in a limitless way. I don't want to have restraints on what I want to do, how I want to share it, where I want to be. You can now be global. You can be global in absolutely everything you do. Your networking, attending conferences, sales, running your businesses, absolutely everything. Even if you have a shop, you can have different revenue streams that provide you with those opportunities. So if there's anything that the last 18 months has actually taught us, is that we are fiercely resilient, and we are capable of harnessing new opportunities for success. So some of you I know have capitalized on this opportunity during the last year while we're in lockdown. Others of you have had your lives absolutely thrown upside down because there have been so many significant challenges, particularly for women globally. The scenario is that you were working in a job and then COVID hits. You then have to homeschool children. You've got the kids around all the time. Everyone else is overwhelmed. You're now missing the revenue that you had from your jobs. It's a recipe for a very, very stressful situation on families, on households, on individuals around the globe. So we need to be aware that this last 12 months has actually brought back the opportunity that women have been striving for. So we need to now push back onto that and reclaim the space we had and build momentum to make it better than it ever has been before. I truly believe we are on a mission. For the last 30 years, I have spearheaded organizations in the health, education, corporate, not-for-profit, and charity sectors. And it has taken me 3 decades to cultivate and nurture relationships alongside my female colleagues. It is not always easy. I had to do that around having 5 children, including 2 sets of twins, navigating 3 degrees, having very, very stressful family situations. We all have our stuff, right? We have our unique situations. If we pretend it's all easy, we're lying. We're lying to ourselves and we're lying to those we're sharing with. But although things are challenging, they are doable. You can achieve your brilliance. It just means a commitment, and it requires leaning into what you truly want to do. I have done that against the naysayers, and I know you can do it as well. You know, there are, of course, many types of partnerships that you can be looking at, and having the savviness to identify a potential collaboration is absolutely key. All right. I don't know if you're like me, but those requests come into me all the time. Opportunities via LinkedIn, via Facebook, via speaking opportunities. And then we really need to tap into those and go, who are these people? What is their agenda? And being very savvy about trying to find out where opportunities to collaborate lie. All right. Don't go out with the same sales pitch to everybody. Really think about where are the opportunities? How do you actually complement each other? How can you collaborate rather than compete? All right. Networking is absolutely key to this. The more people you have coming into your pond, as we'll call it, the more opportunity you have to go strategic fishing. Networking is more than the exchange of business cards. I don't even have a business card at the moment because, my website is my business card. Speaking to you is my business card. LinkedIn reviews are my business card. So make sure that you think, how are people finding you? How are people reviewing you? How are they looking for you, liking you, and trusting you? Look, like, trust are key issues for you to keep growing, for you to be building those networks. So make sure yours are up to date. I have online training for LinkedIn all the time, so definitely check out my next one. You are more than welcome to join me. I'll make sure that you are positioning yourself in a way that you will be able to capitalize on these opportunities to collaborate. So from problem-solving coalitions that set out to tackle a particular challenge, to market-shaping investments with multiple stakeholders, to address a shortfall in a broken system, we as leaders are now responsible for carving out a virtual process that works. Success isn't success without sharing the insider hacks that unify a shared goal. So as female entrepreneurs, here are my tips for you on tapping into your international opportunity. Identify who's who. Number one, make sure you identify who is who. Identify leaders and innovators, right, who share similar goals. Who is in your space? Who do you want to be like? Who are you dazzled by? All right, try and find those people and follow them, and then find ways to actually get known by them. Only when we align our desired outcomes can a relationship form to change what you believe is currently broken. Number two, I want you to build your community. Build a collective of partners who are committed to creating change. It doesn't matter what your business is, what your passion area is, what you want to achieve. Find people who want to do that with you, alongside you, even if they're just your cheerleaders. Find those people who create positive energy for you. We'll give you time, we'll give you positive comments, support you, things of that nature. More than ever, authenticity is at the core of a trusted network. So make sure that you go to them raw. You go to them with your true self and what you truly want. All right? That way you'll be connecting the right person because they will look into the essence of who you are. Number three, I want you to identify to innovate, all right? Understand the context of your connections. If innovation is at the top of your game plan, you will then be able to diagnose and solve issues that matter, all right? Be creative. Look around. Find ways that suit the future, not have worked in the past. Next point, who are tomorrow's leaders? All right, I'm always looking about tomorrow. Our tomorrow is our sum of today, so we have to be making sure that we focus on how we show up every single day. Prosper requires planning. Create a network of people who think into the future and explore emerging trends that forecast the sector that you are working within or the area that you would like to work within. It's nothing without a vision, right? So without a purpose, a network can actually be a sinking ship. You can have so many friends. You can have, the amount of people who've went and said, well, I've got 20,000 friends in my network, 50,000, 100,000. That's no point if they are not there to actually help you achieve your vision. Or I'm sure you'd be extremely drained if you were trying to help them, all of them, achieve theirs. So if your goal is to enhance the visibility of your leadership and other women leaders globally, it's important that you identify as a global community what you ultimately want to achieve. All right, so what do you actually want? Be known for that. Make sure that when people think of the area that you're in, it doesn't matter if it's real estate or beauty or finance, if that's your thing, make sure that you're like a beacon, you're proactive, you're future thinking. People will find you. All right. Another point is brainstorm like crazy. All right. As thoughtful leaders, female entrepreneurs are naturally creative troubleshooters, right? If you're like me, you like to map out how you're going to achieve your vision. And this means enhancing all of the ingredients that help you lean towards that vision, chase that vision, make that vision a reality. All right. It requires you enhancing your profile. It requires you putting yourself out there. It requires you doing something even though you feel self-conscious or embarrassed. It requires you staying strong and dedicated even when other people criticize you. It requires you doing it even when no one else is watching. All right. Adaptation is everything. So being super strict with yourself will help you change what you desire. Collective action is super important. Working across multiple sectors, platforms, and time zones is actually the easy part once you get into it. But ensuring accountability is actually paramount if you are going to lead change and disrupt the norm. All right. So if you want to be a troublemaker, a trailblazer in your area, you're going to require collective action. And that means find partners who actually want to join you on that purpose. Keep up the pace. That we can all go guns blazing, but then suddenly we tire, the momentum sort of changes, we get exhausted by different things, we get frustrated. But creating these global partnerships means that we actually need to invest heavily in our community. As a CEO, as an entrepreneur, you've got no idea how many millions of balls that I have in the air, but I make sure that I drop in at the key times. So if it's someone I highly value, I will be commenting on their LinkedIn. I will be posting something about them and giving them a shout out. I will be watching the game and dropping in where it matters. The people who get exhausted are dropping in too much. They're trying to do everything. Or they're actually so busy focusing on their business and themselves, they're actually burning themselves out when other things and other opportunities, other people are actually very, very nearby. Right? So I know what it takes to apply and win business growth through strategy and designing methods that work. But I would much prefer to emerge from a lockdown with a whole range of global partners who are out there doing their thing. And then through the collective, we can do more. All right. We can learn from each other, grow from each other, support each other, send people to each other, have leads, do business, inspire each other to tick some serious goals. So advocating for innovation, entrepreneurship, diversity, and inclusion requires a global community. So what am I going to ask you to do today? I'm going to invite you to join mine. All right. I have a group called Women Collaborating Globally. Just go on Facebook, join it. It immediately gives you a free network to actually just get to know amazing women globally. Women who are just doing different things in businesses. Women who are happy to support you, help you grow. You can post anything, share anything, do business there. This is what it's about. It's about building your net worth. All right. Because through these initiatives, and there are a zillion other groups if you don't want to join mine, but they are there because we know and we value that through the collective, we can actually create global change. So if you would like to find out a little bit more about me, go to anniegibbons.com. All right. Find out about my programs. I have 2 programs. One of them is called the Women's Business Incubator. The other one is called Life by Design. The Incubator, the Business Incubator offers 3 separate programs. One of them is called the Women's Business Startup Program. That allows you to take an idea to launch in 6 months and then consolidate your business platform so that you are humming along confidently for the first 1 to 2 years. All right, it's really important that you bed down your systems and your processes and get consistent revenue so that you can trust yourself and trust the business that you have founded. My next course is called the Women's Business Scale Up Incubator, and that's for women who have got businesses that they're wanting to take to 6 figures and stay there and continue to grow. This requires a different business model, all right? We have to release some parts of our business, collaborate with others, get more involved in our personal branding and marketing, things of that nature. And then my final course there is the Women's Business Domination Incubator, and that's just for women who have got thriving businesses and they're wanting to take them to 7 figures, which means that you would be known globally as a default operator in a certain area. All right. If it's women's business coaching, you would think of Annie Gibbons, for example. And so you're in a position that if someone mentions a topic, doesn't matter what that is, they will think of you. And so those 3 programs are in my Business Incubator. My Life by Design course is all about getting success, balance, and happiness. That's for people who are actually wanting to get the balance. All right. They're a bit out of whack. They've been through a stage of transition. They're wanting to actually find out who they are for the next stepping stone to be one that they actually love, to learn to live a life that you love. So come and check out anniegibbons.com. I would love to have you visit. Also, just book a free chat with me. I would love to get to know you, find out what your needs are. And I hope that I've added incredible value to you today. And if there's one thing I can ask you is reach out to women in your network and start stacking on the love. Love others, they will love you. Support each other, they'll support you. Grow your networks, grow your businesses, and be optimistic about finding amazing synergistic opportunities that are actually there. You just need to be aware of them and seize them.